Hi students, my name is Dr. Marini Smith and I'm going to be your course facilitator for Child Development 34, Observing and Recording Children's Behavior. So in this course, we're going to be doing several observation assignments looking at early childhood children between the ages 2 to 5. So before I go over some of the observation requirements that you'll need for this class, I just wanted to share with you some of the textbooks or the textbook that is required. So the textbook that is essential for the class, so get this ASAP as soon as possible, is this textbook Week by Week by Barbara Ann Nielsen. So this is the 6th edition of the textbook. So this one's a little bit older, or you can get the newer version, which is the 7th edition, same book, Week by Week, Plans for Documenting Children's Development by Barbara Ann Nielsen. So either the 6th or 7th edition will be fine for this class. So I'm going to briefly go over observation requirements so that you can be ready to rock and roll. So if you are going to choose the On-Campus Child Development Center or CDC at West LA College, then here are some important things for you to know. So you need to either go in person to the CDC on campus or email the director, Joanne Gray. Here's her email, grayj@wlac.edu. Make sure to provide at least 24 hours notice before coming to the center, so you cannot make a same-day appointment. So if you go in person, you're going in person to let them know that you need to come back and schedule another appointment. Or you can email Miss Gray and say, "Hi, I'm in Dr. Smith's Child Development 34 class. I would like to schedule an appointment so that I can come in, meet with you before I come in and do my first observation." So you will not be able to just show up and expect to do your observation. And now you're going to find out why. Before beginning your observations, you must bring the following. Make sure you bring all of these items, because if you do not, you will not be able to start your observations. And in this class, you will have 4 observations and you will be observing the same child each time. It's kind of a case study. So make sure you bring a copy of your identification. Make sure you bring a copy of the course syllabus, which will be made available to you the first day of class. Make sure you bring proof of your MMR vaccine. That's measles, mumps, and rubella. Make sure you bring proof of your Tdap vaccine. That's your tetanus and whooping cough. Make sure you also bring proof of a TB test. It can be up to 1 year old. So if it's more than 1 year ago, you'll have to get a new TB test. COVID vaccine, if applicable. You are not required to have COVID vaccine to observe in the West LA College CDC. So if you are vaccinated from COVID, then masks are optional. But if you do not have your COVID vaccine, then a mask is required when you are there. You can observe in the West LA College Child Development Center between the hours of 8 a.m. and 12 p.m., Monday through Friday. The best times, however, are between 9 and 11:30 a.m. So make sure that you plan your schedule accordingly. That first half an hour or so, kiddos are still coming in. After 11:30, they're having lunch. So the best time is between 9 and 11:30. You must come with all of your documents, all of these things here, when making your appointment for the first observation. So you will not be able to do your first observation until you've been cleared by having provided all of these requirements. Now, as I mentioned before, you will be observing the same child for all 4 observations. So you might want to ask the classroom teacher what that child's attendance is like. Do they typically come every day? Most of the children at the CDC, from what I understand, do, but that can always change. So every time you come in, you need to find that same child and you're going to be observing them objectively and without any interaction. You're basically a fly on the wall. You're sitting in the back with whatever you're taking notes with, and you're watching that child for the time that you were there in the center. Only 1 student will be scheduled per CDC classroom. So again, that's why these appointments are very important. So if another child or another student, CD34 student, is scheduled Thursday at 11, and that's the time that you want to come, you wouldn't be able to observe that same day if you have children that you're observing in the same classroom. So the Child Development Center will make sure that they are staggering appointments so that we don't have more than 1 child development student observing in a classroom at a time. And then most importantly, well, not most importantly, but very importantly, Always make sure that you are professional, so make sure that you're prompt. Whatever your appointment scheduled observation time is, make sure that you're on time. Be respectful, and be communicative. So if you're running late, if you have to reschedule, please make sure that you notify the Child Development Center, because you are potentially even, this could parlay into a job. And also we want to make sure that we have a great relationship with the Child Development Center. They welcome with open arms our child development students, and part of that is because we maintain a relationship that is very respectful. So let's just continue doing that, and let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing you in the course. Have fun observing.